Welcome back to Miller's in Motion. It's frickin' cold.
But it's a beautiful morning.
As I blow fog right in y'all's faces. Sorry, it is a beautiful morning minus the fact that I'm wearing shorts.
Whose decision was that?
And it's like 20, or not 20, it's like 30 degrees-ish. So
It is.
So we are packing up from Twin Coves in our 101st video. And we are headed to warm, sunny Florida. Please be warm and sunny.
Last time it froze en route there. It was so cold. Now it warmed up and it was beautiful, but we're looking forward to it.
So we're going to do a little bit of a different take on a video. And we are notorious for just driving like 14 hours.
In a day, he means.
Yeah. So we're going to try and slow down just a little bit. And we've created a challenge for ourselves. And we'll see by the time we get to Florida what happens. So our final destination in this video is going to be Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, where we will queue up and be ready to go before we move down to the Florida RV Super Show Fairgrounds.
In Tampa.
All right, so here is the challenge. It is officially, we're calling it the Harvest Host Challenge.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is, and this is more of an us thing to slow us down, is we have to stay a minimum of 3 nights. And we have booked nothing.
That's right.
So we kind of have an idea of where we want to stay, but we're really going to kind of dive into this once we get driving. So it's kind of a wing it challenge. But we also have stipulated that, and I created my own categories. Harvest Host has their categories. I've expanded it just a little bit because we are a big rig and we don't have as many options.
Sure.
So we've created our own categories. Harvest Host has theirs, which are wineries, breweries, attractions, and then if you sign up for the additional stuff, you can also add golf courses, and then you can also add Boondockers Welcome. So all we did is we left Boondockers Welcome, we left wineries, breweries, and golf courses as is. They're including museums, churches, and a couple of other different things. It's kind of their catch-all category. So what we're doing is we're breaking that out. So we're going to say museums are one category, churches are another category, and then everything else is an attraction.
Well, and simply because we are a very large rig, and so our options were somewhat limited. And also, if we just said go slow and stay at Harvest Host, we probably wouldn't make that challenge.
Yeah.
We had to add a layer of complexity to it.
So that's not a challenge, that's just traveling. So the other kicker is we cannot use one of those categories more than once. And we have to use one Boondockers Welcome no matter what. Also, to add on to this layer, we found this out last night, there is a storm system.
Yeah.
A brewing. So our travel, we have an idea of our route.
Yes.
We kind of do look at that we don't just get in the truck and drive. You can look at our route planning video that we did way back when on how we do all that. But we are going to take weather into consideration after today, because tomorrow and the next day there's some chance for some high winds and some other things, tornadoes and all that in the south. So that may adjust our travel plans a little bit. So
Things that aren't conducive to the papier-mâché house.
for now, we are going to get hooked up and get out of North Texas.
Alright, so we made it out of Texas, and so it's probably about time to figure out where we might crash for the evening. Plus, there's a Packers game on, and as you know, Ryan is a big Packers fan. So we need to kind of rein in where we're going to stop and about when. So I've got the Harvest Host app up, and we set some parameters because of our size and also that we travel with the pups. So we've got to make sure those are on here. So I know our route and where we'd kind of like to end up for the day, and I think we've landed on the Monroe, Louisiana area. So whenever I get that pulled in, it's just after that is going to make a significantly longer kind of day in that regard. So when I get it pulled up, there are a couple of options here. Let's get it done.
So I will say, because we're booking this day of, sometimes you can request the stay on the app, but other times they tell you to call. I would tell you to, if you can request on the app, do that. Give it like an hour and then call them. Because you don't want to roll in on them and be like, oh, by the way, I'm here. And they don't know. Sometimes it takes them a little bit, especially if they're doing normal business hours.
Right.
They may be actually working and they didn't see the email.
The other thing is that it's Sunday today, and so that may affect their hours.
In this case, they're closed. But they do have the 1 day availability, so we hit book now. So we'll see if they say yes. I guess if we pull in, they'll have said yes. If not, we'll find another one. Well, in typical us fashion, we are now on the side of the road with our hazards on. The good news is it's just a simple thing. Our 7-way pin came a little disconnected. Yikes. If you see an RV on the side of the road, get over. Our 7-way pin became disconnected, which also means we lost our trailer brakes and our turn signals and all that stuff. So luckily plugged it back in, did a quick walk around. We're gonna get back on the road where it's much safer. Might be our shortest drive day of almost all time.
I feel like we're missing something, like we need to keep going.
Yeah. This is a situation where Lauren go another 3 or 4 hours, and I'm perfectly happy because it is about 3:30, which means we're going to wander around, film a little bit, make a donation, because as part of the Harvest Host program, they do recommend that you spend a little bit of money with these places.
Right.
They happen to be closed. Otherwise, we'd pay an entry fee to go inside. There is an exterior facility that they said that we are more than welcome to wander around and enjoy. But because of that, we're just going to leave a cash donation in a drop box that they have set up instead of going and buying things. So, but they accepted the 1 day booking, and we are here. So this is the Challange Aviation Museum. It is just next to the airport in Monroe, Louisiana.
It may be next to the airport, but I haven't heard as many planes as we did by DFW, so small airport.
You are correct. And all the planes right here do not fly.
That's right. My favorite kind right now.
So one of the best things about Harvest Host is that we get to experience some new things. So unfortunately they're not open, so we don't get to learn about the history of some of these planes, but we're definitely going to go check out some of these planes. Well, it's very fitting that right next to the little memorial thing sits our Valor. So hopefully some of the pictures I took turned out, because that was pretty cool. This is our first Harvest Host experience. I just realized that.
Yes, it is.
We've had our membership for over a year, and we're finally using it.
That's right.
All right, stop one. We're here. I want to watch the Packers. Go Pack Go. Hopefully beat the Bears, because the Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
If we have any Bears fans, I'm sorry for that.
I'm not.
I know.
Green Bay zone. We're going to just crash. We're going to maybe make a pizza and some wings because it's a football evening.
See, this is what happens when we get somewhere before dark. We don't know what to do with ourselves.
We're going to watch the Packer game and relax. That's what we're going to do with ourselves.
Sure.
So we're going to do that. We will see you guys in the morning. We'll let you know how the little stay works out, because there's some roads. So I'm curious if road noise is a thing here. But they have 30 amp connections too. So you just donate a little bit more for using it. We did.
Yeah.
And we don't have to run the generator. Score. All right, night. Well, good morning from the Challange Aviation and Military Museum. We had actually a really good night's sleep. We went to bed pretty early. As you know, we left you with some cliffhangers as far as what's going to happen today. At least I think we did. We are up bright and early. It is actually about 5:30 in the morning. Why, you ask, are we up so early? Well, last night we kind of deep dived the weather, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. There is a very high probability of some pretty severe storms. We kind of had ballpark staying somewhere in the kind of Biloxi, Mississippi, right there, the Florida, Georgia, Alabama, that little line down there. And they have like a very significant chance of severe storms later today into the evening hours and overnight. So we've already changed our plans. We are going to try to complete this challenge, but I will not do it at the expense of weather and our safety and our home/RV safety that you can see all lit up like a Christmas tree behind me. So we are going to put a long drive day on. So we're up bright and early, going to get through essentially Mississippi. Hopefully, the goal now is actually to get closer to Gainesville, Florida. That's a long drive. I mean, we're looking at 10 to 12 hours today, but that gets us away from the weather that's supposed to be coming in a little bit later, and the high winds. The high winds are the other side of that because they're going to get here first. The challenge is still on, but it may turn into a 2-day versus a 3-day only because of necessary things that are happening with the weather. We are going to try and stay at one more Harvest Host, but again, depending on how far we get, we may have to bail and not complete the challenge, which means we would fail. Unfortunately, that part kind of sucks. But again, I will never do anything in the expense of our home and our safety. So the real question becomes is, are we going to stay at a Harvest Host tonight or Boondockers Welcome, or are we going to have to find a Cracker Barrel just kind of based on necessity? So come along, join us. We're going to leave this great Harvest Host. Thank you so much for having us. And hit the road. Let's go. On a complete other side note, the Packers won.
Woohoo!
Playoffs, baby, and we beat the Bears, so it's always a good day when we beat the Bears. But now we have to play Dallas. I don't know how I feel about that, being from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So,
I know how you feel about that.
excited and terrified, all at the same time, because I'm going to take a lot of crap, and I hope I can throw it back at him at some point. So, anyway, how are you doing this morning?
I'm tired, a little worried about this system moving towards us. I say we get on the road.
Let's go. Not go pack go, but go pack go. So let's go. As always, one of the benefits when we're on the road is using our Open Roads fuel card for two reasons. One, big rig goes to the truck lanes, high capacity fuel outlets that are here. Also, you save money. So just save money. You can find the link to our Open Roads sign up sheet and all that stuff down below.
All right, little midday update for all you guys. The weather system is holding strong. So there's that. We are going to continue with our plan to stay safe and try to stay ahead of it. Now, like Ryan mentioned earlier, that does mean that where we'd hoped we could kind of slow our roll and do some shorter travel days, that's not quite going to happen. So today did end up being a longer travel day. We'll give you the total maybe at the end of it. But let me say it's about noon and we just passed the area we were hoping to get to for the day. And we're still going strong. So there is that. Now then, as far as changing our game plan for tonight, we were kind of hoping to get into the Florida Panhandle, past Tallahassee, maybe to like Gainesville, in order to give us the best shot for staying safe tomorrow as well. The issue we're kind of running into, and this is just part of the learning process for us, is that we're having trouble finding a Harvest Host or Boondocker's Welcome that we can get to in that area before dark that isn't heavily treed. So we are going to keep searching, but that's where we are for now.
Welcome to Florida.
Just like last year, it's rainy and cold.
So it's raining now. We were gonna go over to the sign at the rest stop. Don't ask why we're at a rest stop, and do a whole thing. But it's raining, so hard pass. Also, I had to seal a new hole on the front cap because we took a lug nut to the front cap straight on not long ago. So, yay!
It's always an adventure, but that's okay.
Luckily, the guys at Alliance kind of told me what to do, and I happen to have what they recommend for the exterior sealant on hand. It's going to require fiberglass work because, no joke, I was going 65 one direction. The truck was probably going more than 65 at us. You can do the math at the force that was put into the front cap from a teeny weeny little head of a lug nut, or a nuglet, whatever. So there's a hole. It looks like a bullet, a big bullet went right through our front cap. It didn't. It was a lug nut.
But we did get to stop and eat lunch in our own rig.
Yeah.
And that's good.
So I will say, here's the clip of me fixing it. So unfortunately, I am at a rest stop standing up by our front cap. Let me switch around. I'll show you why. So as we were driving, we heard a loud bang. Turns out we took a bolt, and you can see it's all the way into the fiberglass. So luckily, I called Alliance. They said if I just squirt some sealant, I just want to make sure that it's not broken. So I've got some sealant that we use from the exterior, and I'm just going to fill the hole just to make sure we don't have any water penetration. So the long drive day got a little longer. Obviously, you know, we are attempting to avoid rain. So now we're doing this. So like Lauren said, we did get to stop, and we got to heat up some leftover Babe's chicken dinner house from my birthday.
Chicken tendies.
So that was good, and we have a little bit of time now, but we're going. We got about 4.5 hours left in the drive, and then I have to jump on a phone call at 7. The fun never ends. The fun never ends.
It is fun.
It is fun, minus the fact that our brand new RV has a hole in the front cap.
That's a little disheartening, but we can fix it.
That's less fun, but at least the RV didn't break, and we didn't break it.
That's very true.
That's Walmart's fault. It was a Walmart truck.
All right.
Let's finish this thing off to wherever we're staying tonight. We should probably figure that out, too.
We'll work on it.
One thing at a time.
You see this? It's dark. It's not still dark. It's dark again. If that gives you any idea as to what we've done today. This was not our shortest driving day yet. Dark again.
The new title of this video is going to be Mega Fail.
We failed in glorious fashion.
So, because of all the weather and the storms, we decided that we wanted to at least make it to Tallahassee, preferably Gainesville. We made it to Gainesville, but at the time we got here, we could not find a Harvest Host of any kind that would have been open by the time we got there. Willing to probably put up with us pulling our humongo rig in at the last second. Yeah. There's a Boondocker's Welcome and a couple of Harvest Hosts in the area that looked phenomenal, but we rolled in to where we stayed probably about 7:15, 7:30 last night.
So it was well after dark, and our rig size does limit us, so we'll say that.
So in true Miller fashion, we may have ended up at a
old trusty
Cracker Barrel, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I will say this just proves you have to be flexible when it comes to RV life.
It is.
Because things happen, things change, and at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you're safe.
Yeah.
and that you didn't damage your rig. Which, by the way, we damaged our rig, as you know.
But that wasn't related to any of these things.
No.
We have been watching the radar, and it is just getting pounded.
Yeah.
The places we were supposed to be. So this was definitely the right call. We failed our mission, but that's okay. We stayed safe.
That's true. But that means that we are going to make it to Orlando a full, I'm going to say 26 hours prior to what we thought we were going to do. So we have a new adventure that we're going to do that we weren't planning on doing.
So this is a fun little surprise.
So join us next week right here. Literally right here.
Until then, bye, Mom.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open.